Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Matt Report, brought to you by the Cobos Insurance Center and Century 21 Deanna Family Realty. Tim Elkhorn with AM 930 WEOL. Sean Bennett with the Chronicle Telegram. Each and every week, it is fun to get together and talk high school wrestling as far as Lorain County is concerned. Sean, great to be with you on the Chronicle Telegram set one more time. And boy, for last week, it was a couple of ninth graders that kind of lead the way as far as the top three of the week.
Yeah, it's always good to see the freshmen kind of step up and do something big, especially not too deep into the season. We're only about halfway right now, so the fact that a couple guys won their championships, first championships, and I guess we're going to delve right into it. That's pretty cool to see. So. My top three performances of the week, I'll start with the non-freshman. That's Jacob Dunston from North Ridgeville. Very, very impressive performance at probably what was the top tournament that our locals wrestled in last week, the Pin City Invitational out of Perry High. Jacob Dunston went 5-0 with 2 pins and a technical fall to win the 126-pound championship out there. He beat a district placer, Colin Koenig of Perry High School, the host school, 7-4 in the semifinals. Then beat returning Pennsylvania State qualifier Ben Turpak of Erie Cathedral Prep, a nationally ranked team who has won that event every year I think I can remember. He beat him 4-2 in the final. Dunston's currently riding a 27-match win streak. He's 32-1 for the season. Just killing it this year. Really opening some eyes and getting the job done.
So congratulations, Jacob Dunston. That's a great tournament. And then, as we mentioned, a couple of freshmen that kind of stand out as far as the top three wrestlers in Lorain County last week were concerned. The first ninth grader we want to talk about, Cody Green from Keystone High School. Another young man with a 5-0 mark last weekend.
Yeah, 5-0, 2 pins, technical fall, and major decision. So those are all bonus points. Great for the team to kind of gain some of those points. Another great performance from him. They were out at the Plymouth Invitational. Again, his first high school tournament championship. So that's something it's special, It's you get up on the top of that podium the first time, and it's something that he'll remember forever. But he pinned the runner-up Noah Trimmer of Plymouth, the host school again, in the 138-pound title. So that's kind of a nice way to kind of put the cherry on top, go out there and kind of dominate to get the title. So. And
let's talk about one more freshman, a young man that I'm sure we're going to be hearing quite a bit about over at Elyria. Xander Lowry.
Yeah, Xander Lowry, a freshman heavyweight. He goes in, helps Elyria. The Elyria white team was in the Columbia Invitational. They go away with hardware. They finished with the runner-up trophy. He was one of 3 champions there. And I should also say the other 2 were Matt Zuckerman and Peyton Fenton. Peyton Fenton's also a freshman, so he won his first high school tournament as well. So it was a big week for those 2 guys because they both freshmen won their first tournament titles. Fenton, went 4-0 with 4 pins. All 4 of his pins were under a minute and 15 seconds. And the reason, I want to make sure I mention that he got it because it was special he got his first, but Peyton Fenton is, a state-ranked kid. He kind of, him going in the Columbia Invitational and winning it is probably not surprising to most. But Xander Lowry, there was question marks at that heavyweight. That's one of the few weight classes that people said, what is Elyria going to do there? Because Kevin Vo was such a dominant force at that position for years. It kind of left, that question mark there. And Xander Lowry comes in, a freshman, and he wins a championship at the heavyweight position, which is very difficult to do. First championship by an Elyria heavyweight since Kevin Vo won the state title his senior year a few years ago. So really impressive. He went in there, pinned his way into the final, then won a tough 8-5 decision over Benedictine's Thomas Jolly in the final. So just a really impressive performance by him.
So again, our top 3, Jacob Dunston of North Ridgeville, Cody Green of Keystone, and Xander Lowry of Elyria. Congratulations to those young men. All right, something that we like to have a lot of fun with each and every week here on our In the Matt Report. We always talk about my favorite move, and it's brought to you by Century 21 Deanna Family Realty. And of course, Sean Bennett has an opportunity to visit with one of our top local wrestlers who demonstrate their favorite move. So, Sean, who and what move will we see this week?
Well, it's good that we finished the performances with a heavyweight because we're going with our first heavyweight wrestler for my favorite move, and that's going to be Elyria Catholic's Jack Decker. We went out to, not to Elyria Catholic. They actually work out at World Gym out in Sheffield with an MMA team. I don't know if I mentioned that before in some of our shows and that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we go out there. We, we kind of got with Jack Decker, and he showed his favorite move, which is basically kind of like a throw down, go behind, trip move to the mat, and then he goes right into a power half. He's used it pretty much all year. He's got a lot of pins out of it. You'll see that the poor guy that's helping him out kind of gets thrown to his back there. So, yeah, watch this move.
So is it called throw down, pin down, trick move?
he had a good kind of reference to what all the moves. It's like a combination move. It's 2 or 3 things put together, but it's pretty impressive.
It is. It's very cool. So again, here's Jack Decker from Elyria Catholic with his favorite move, and again brought to you by Century 21, Deanna Family Realty.
I'm Jack Decker, senior at Elyria Catholic, and this is my favorite move. So what I first do is I'll come in, I'll put my hand on my opponent's neck, and I'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to get him to loosen up a little bit. And when he comes at me, I'll just throw his arm around and get behind, and I'll wrap my arms around, and then I'll take my right foot, come in, straight, let go, and then I'll come straight down and do a power half. I'll show it again real fast. So, in the match, I'm on his neck, Alright, come in, throw it under, straight into a power half. That's my favorite move.
Very well done.
Yeah, and it's nice because for the favorite move segment so far, you've seen a lot of smaller guys doing technical moves, using speed in this. The heavyweights, are a little bigger guys, so a lot of times they'll use that power, which you saw in that video segment. It's more, they get in there, they get on somebody, and they kind of use balance and power and strength to kind of score the points, where the younger guys sometimes use speed and their technical prowess.
So often during wrestling, you see those heavyweight guys or the guys that are in the heavier weights who also played line in football. And you can see it right there with Jack, the footwork that would help him in football and vice versa, the footwork in football that would help him with wrestling.
Well, and obviously they were so successful this year. He was an All-Ohio, recognized senior lineman for Elyria Catholic. So, yeah, you're right. It's shown, it's proven that that's a big deal, and they help each other. The two sports help each other. Every time I talk to somebody who plays football and wrestles, they say they're probably the greatest marriage of sports because you can learn so much from each one.
Yeah, complementary to one another, no doubt. All right, well, a guy who certainly has had a lot of success on the mats, both as a wrestler in his day and now as the head coach of Elyria High, is Eric Burnett. And, of course, each and every week during our Mat Report, we like to talk about a coach, a spotlight on a local coach. And this week it's going to be Coach Burnett from Elyria.
Yeah, we did the questionnaire preseason, and these are some of the thoughts from Eric. His competitor highlights, a lot of people probably know what he did as a competitor. He was a 4-time OHSA state champion at Oberlin. He was the NCAA Division I All-American at Clarion University in Pennsylvania. He got into coaching because of as a college wrestler. He attended a lot of college wrestling camps and kind of picked up on coaching and liked some of the coaches he dealt with. His top coaching accomplishment, he has four state runner-up trophies at Elyria as a coach. His top coaching memories, Danny Mitchell winning state, one of his first state champions. His son Mick was in the state final, that was last year, national final in Fargo in the as freestyle in the offseason. And Ben Darmstadt winning a Fargo championship and being named outstanding wrestler in the nationals out there in North Dakota. Coaches that have influenced him, Coach Zeman, Coach Bub, Coach Milkovich, and Coaches Dan and Tom Turnus, and of course his father, Ron, late father, one of the greats around Lorain County. Favorite move to teach the young wrestler, snap down, go behind. His most important and intangible is passion. Toughest part of the job is coaching those without passion. Yeah. And then favorite college program, Clarion University. You said you wanted somebody to say something. Yes, other than Ohio State. Clarion University, Minnesota, Ohio State, Michigan, Virginia, Iowa, Cleveland State. And he's got probably a lot because his wrestlers go to wrestle for some of these. He deals with a lot of these college coaches, so we'll give him an allowance to go with a few programs there. Favorite high school tournament is the OHSA State Tournament. His toughest opponent, the next one.
I love that answer.
Yes.
I love that.
And in his free time, he likes to hang out with family and friends and golf, and then he put in parentheses, poorly. So he's
at least he's passionate about it.
He's a funny guy. Yeah, he knows how to put a good answer down, both for comedy's sake and then obviously some great inspirational ones with the next one. That's
one of the more interesting conversations we've had with Eric Burnett on the radio side of things. When Sean and I talked to Eric, I think it was last year on the radio program, we asked him about digging out those old films of when he was wrestling and showing them to his sons. That was kind of fun when he talked about that.
Yeah, and obviously, now he's got both sons in his program. He's got to be living the high life, just kind of, being a coach, being a dad, all that. It's got to be a good time.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, Eric Burnett, spotlight on coaching as far as an area coach this week on the Matt Report. All right, before we close things out, as always, Sean Bennett likes to offer up a little trivia as far as wrestling is concerned, and also give you the answer to last week's trivia.
Okay, well, we kind of left the cliffhanger with the team that had the 3 very impressive wins. I kind of said I was on the OHSA website looking at things, so anybody who went to the OHSA website probably found the answer. This was the Lorraine Titans who did this incredible feat. They defeated Shaw 80-0, Cleveland Heights 82-0, and Shaker Heights 83-0 during their inaugural season in 2010-2011. So that was the year that the Admiral King and Southview combined to make Lorraine, and they come out and they just dominated 3 dual meets. Because again, 84-0 is a perfect match where everybody's getting pins. So those are some impressive feats right there.
No doubt. So again, if you're playing along on the trivia, let us know. I always have a lot of fun with some of the things you come up with. All right, what do we got for tidbits this week, and then another trivia question?
Well, our spotlight, coaching spotlight, kind of got me looking at some of the 4-time champs. Eric Burnett was a 4-time champ, so our weekly trivia kind of goes around the 4-time champs. So there have been 31 4-time state champions in Ohio, with 2 wrestlers, St. Paris Graham's Mitch Moore and Massillon Perry's David Carr, accomplishing the feat last season. So we had 29 going in, and 2 guys got it done last year. The first wrestler to ever win 4 state titles in Ohio was Columbus St. Francis de Sales' Mark Zimmer in 1979. The 4th wrestler to ever do it was who we just talked about, Oberlin's Eric Burnett in 1987, won his 4th. While St. Edward and Columbia Station residents Lance and Colin Palmer were the numbers 15 and 17 to do it in 2006 and 2009, with Lance being the older of the 2. Now, the question I came up with isn't to do with 4-time state champ, but it was something doing some research on some stories this week, I found out about, and I didn't know, and I thought was kind of really interesting. What I didn't understand was high school wrestling, which is called scholastic or folk style wrestling, is practiced in 49 of 50 states in the United States, which I didn't realize there was any. I thought it just was everywhere. So the question this week is, what is the only state that doesn't officially sanction the sport of wrestling?
Wow, you got my wheels turning on that. I'll have to Google that, or just when we're done taping, ask you. Wow, that's interesting.
I might tell you. I might. Yeah, I won't make it work. I can tell you off camera.
All right, 49 out of 50 sanction folk style or scholastic wrestling. The one state that does not. You got my wheels turning. All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Matt Report. Again, a great big thank you to our sponsors, the Cobos Insurance Center and Century 21, Deanna Family Realty. Thanks to Bruce Bishop behind the camera. Sean Bennett, as always, thanks to you. Biggest thanks goes to you, the viewers. Hope you enjoyed it. And until we talk again next week, so long, everybody.